Right behind our clothes.
You're correct. You're correct. You're correct. Put in my bag, Michael. That's right. Niece made it for me. It's the one. It's the one who made
The box.
the box.
Yeah, all the things. We love ours, yes.
What do you know? Little pork chop. Little pork around here. And my first owl that I seen was a snowy owl. And it was off of the corner of Indian Trail and Old Shepherdsville Road. But if you go over there now, all those woods are gone. They have built development and companies all up and down that whole road. I usually tell a story in church a lot about, just to make it quick, I usually tell them about a little kid that used to ride with his mother and up and down Fern Valley Road, from Old Shepherdsville Road down Fern Valley all the way to Preston Highway. I used to live in those woods, and there's not one of those woods left anymore. Every animal, every hawk, every barred owl I used to watch, every foxes that was there, deer, all that is completely gone. You have nursing homes there, you have apartment complexes. And I used to tell my mom, I used to cry and say, only if they knew what lived there. Only if they knew what lived there. And she used to just rub me on my leg and say, Lee, I said, they just won't listen. She said, you're too young, you're a kid, no one's gonna listen to you. But she said, one day they will hear you. And I just feel that now is the time. I'm so thankful that we won the case against Joe Creason Park. They wanted to take the land over there to build one against our present mayor, Mayor Greenberg, and it touched me so much that people comes out. And now I see what God has done, because when I show you what things are, I can't stand people that try to keep things a secret like they own an animal. It's for all of us to enjoy. I want you to see them from the birth, from them laying their eggs to growing up, because once you get a relationship with those animals and really physically know what's living in your backyard and what's living in those woods, you'll fight for it in a different way. You will be compassionate about what's living there. They want you not to know what's there, because then when they come to developing, you think that nothing's living there. But we're going to talk about the owls today. This is I titled this Nature's Cloak, the role of camouflage in survival. These owls are extremely camouflage. And what happens is my eyes work different than the average person. So, for instance, I'll tell a story with my president at Cave Hill. She was walking around with no lenses in her glasses. And I said, Gwen, you don't got no lenses? She grabbed me and says, oh my gosh, Lee, no one has seen that. I had them out all day long. She said, how do you pick that up? I said, my eyes just can tell. It pays attention to the detail, and I can see that your things don't have them in there. And she said, well, I took them out because I was doing a commercial and the glare was on them. So I had to take them out. If I work with you, and if you're a woman, I'm working with you, and if you just highlight the color of your hair, I would know immediately. My eyes pick up every little detail in color and movement. And so what begins to happen, because y'all are being watched by owls every single day. I don't care what park you go to, I promise you, they are watching you right along the sidewalk as you walk the path. With your dog, jogging, hiking, riding your bicycle, they're watching you. But do anybody here know how many owls we have? Do any of y'all know how many total owls we have that come here to Kentucky in Louisville? Yes, you know how many? We have a total of 8. We have 8 species of owls that come here to Louisville. Just to show you, we have the barred owl. We have the eastern screech owl. This here is the barn owl. This is the great horned owl, the snowy owl, the northern saw-whet owl, and the long-eared owl, and the short-eared owl. We will see videos and photos and vocals of at least 7 of them. The only one I have not ever captured pictures of is the long-eared owl, which is down at the bottom. But what do y'all see here? Some see leaves, some see birds. This is how your mind is when you're looking at an owl that is so camouflaged in the leaves or in the bark. Just so you can see, these are leaves, but it's in the shape of a bird, of a sparrow. See, so it's really 2 birds there. This is how your mind and your mind and your eyes are playing a fight with each other. Your eyes are saying, oh, I see something, but your mind is saying, no, it ain't really there. And us as humans, we're gonna go with our mind. We're just gonna immediately go with our mind. This picture here, I love this picture because there's 4 women there. I don't know if y'all can see all the women, but of course you can see the whole lady. But then you have a lady right here, a face of a woman. Here's her eyebrows, here's her lips. And of course you have a woman right here. This is her face, that's her nose looking that way. And then right here is a whole lady. Right there is a whole woman. This is camouflage for owls and how they camouflage themselves. Now there's an owl there, and y'all probably don't even see it. Do anybody see that owl? This is what I'm talking about, camouflage. There's a great owl. Steady. Big giant owl. That's how they blend in. They can puckle up their feathers to mimic the bark on the trees. They know to close their eyes to mimic the tree and their surroundings to blend in that you can't see them. We're going to start out with the barred owl. Everybody knows the barred owl, right? They say, who cooks for you? Who cooks for you? Who cooks for you all? That's their voice. For you. That is the normal barred owl hoot. These owls are all over the place, all over this city. I have over 100 pair of them in this whole city of Jefferson, all over. And I got multiple teams. I got like 21 people who help me study all of them every year of all their nesting. Because there's so many. It's too much for one person. Putney Pond has a beautiful pair of these, beautiful pair of these barred owls. Across the street at Hayes Kennedy, out there, Garvin Brown area has a pair of barred owls. They at Cherokee Park. They down at the Heritage Creek. I studied the pair at Heritage Creek. Every single park they are, not only parks, they are at churches. They are in schools. They got a pair at, well, we had a pair at Kindred Elementary School until they cut all the woods down. I just discovered that. This is what I'm saying. We are pushing all these animals out of their normal habitat. This is the most affectionate owl there is that we have. They love to lick on each other and groom each other. It just gets so X-rated. They just, oh my God, they're just so in love. When they mate for life. They are very good parents. Never let no one tell you that an owl can't swim. This owl here loves water. This is the most seafooding owl we have that loves seafood. Its favorite food is crawdads, crayfish. So if you see a spot that's swampy and they have those little mounds grown up, I'm pretty sure these things are stopping by at nighttime. They are living along anywhere there's a creek or any body of water, extremely close because they love that. They love crayfish and they love fish. They'll dive right in the water and catch a fish in a heartbeat. They live in cavities, beautiful cavities. A lot of sycamore trees. Sycamore trees are beautiful. You can watch the sycamore trees. They peep out of little holes and they watch you. Their babies are so cute. They're going to have their babies in April. April is their season. We'll get to the first bird in the world that has its babies, which it will be an owl. They love cavities, beech trees, and those beech trees, they love them. They're easy to see for me. For me, they're really easy. They come in people's backyard. They can like learn you. They look at you. They learn the structure of your face. I talk out to them out loud, just like I talk to y'all. They'll start learning your voice, and they kind of like invite you into their world. Definitely when you know where their main home is at. You can just watch them all beautiful golden color brown. Their eyes are black for a reason. You can tell what type of hunter an owl is by the color of their eyes. They have black pigment like this. That means they hunt mostly off of sand. They listen for stuff, holes under the ground. They have yellow pigment around their eyes like ours. That means they basically hunt sight. They perch and they look for their prey and they go and attack. Barred owls are, to me, becoming the most popular owl in the United States of America. This owl is populating so much. I love it when it's nesting season because you can tell male and female very easily. Y'all see that big hole? You may not know what that is. That is called a brood patch. All raptors get that during nesting season. The females will completely lose all their feathers along their stomach. And there's nothing but skin to keep the eggs warm and to incubate the eggs. So instead of trying to listen for the vocals, which you can tell males from females, because the females want to have a soprano voice, the males will have a very deep voice. So when they're talking to each other, just listen to the sound of the voice to know male from female. But when it's nesting season, if you get a glimpse at them, You see that like that? That's 100% female. Only females get those. This is right in the subdivision of in off of 6 Mile Lane, Four Seasons apartment complex. A bus stop is right here. Kids walking by with their kids. They own the bicycle. The school bus stops right there when I'm there, and I go on FaceTime Live. And you got a pair of owls right here at the bus stop, nesting right there, watching everybody. So they're not scared of people. There's nothing you can do that's going to scare them away. They sit there and enjoy you. And I'm just showing all the kids and the bus driver and everybody, the owls right there. And all these years, they've been doing that every single day and never picture them. And they're right there in broad daylight, not even hidden, just sitting there. Of course, this is how they produce. They love to mate. They really make a lot of crooks and sounds you have never heard before. But the barn owl is absolutely a favorite of mine. They everywhere. They're little beautiful babies. Their babies got big long heads and necks. They always scratching. They always get an itch. And on the top of an owl's head, you can scratch right here, and it like paralyzes them. They close their eyes and they just kind of fall asleep. You got to know all the pressure points. But I love these little guys. They at Cherokee Park. They at Cave Hill Cemetery. This is me. This is Widget. She's one of our educational birds at Raptor Rehab. I love her. I love Widget. But now let's get to a lot of people's favorite. Everybody loves this owl. This is the barn owl. It has the heart-shaped face. This is the owl you mostly see in the wizard movies and stuff, and Harry Potter. And this owl does not hoot. It does not hoot. There's no hooting with this owl. It screams. It screams and tinkles and hiss. And it will scare the living jihadis out of you. And this is how they sound. Scream. This thing is scary. This is the only owl that can produce anytime it wants to. Every other owl is restricted to one clutch a year, one set of eggs a year. This one can produce eggs whenever it's ready to be pregnant. It can. And that's why I don't understand how their numbers are declining when this owl can make babies whenever it wants to. It can do it 3 times a year if it wants to. We made history. Well, I sort of say I've made history. Anywhere I go, I navigate to, you can put me in the desert where you have never seen an animal, and I'm 100% positive something's going to come. They are just drawn to me. I don't care where I'm at. I come to Cave Hill. Never in the history of Louisville have we ever had a roosting pair of barn owls. But in 2022, I made history. There's 2 of them that's living there back in the rock quarry, right in the middle there. They came in 2022 of August. Fish and Wildlife did a wonderful report. It went all throughout the whole state of Kentucky that we are the only location who has a roosting pair of barn owls. How that happened, I don't know. This is in Frankfort. I go down to Frankfort. There's an old barn down there. I go see the barn owls down there. This is out on, it's called Petersburg Road out in Boston, Kentucky. The next exit past Birmingham Forest. Right now, the short areas are out there, which we'll get to them now. Those are seasonal. This thing, these are real skittish, but this one I wasn't looking for. It just flew right over the top of my car, him and its mate, and almost touched the top of my car. I said, oh my gosh. And I get out. This owl literally let me walk up to it just as I am to this man. Usually they won't let nobody do that. They're real skittish. And let me open up my tripod right in front of me. Wouldn't even move and let me even record it. This is how comfortable wildlife is with me. I mean, it's like I'm not even there. It's like I'm part of the family. This does not happen to normal people. I'm telling y'all. I mean, I hate going birding with some people. Something's going to happen that I can't explain. I've never been able to explain it. I've been trying to seek help of what this thing is called all my life. I'm serious. And I just said, I'm not having it anymore. A woman named Pam Spalding, who was a wonderful photographer for the Curl Journal, she's the one that got me into photography because I never took pictures. I was never a photographer at all, never in life. But she said to me, Lee, I need you to do me a favor. She says, I want you to invite us into your world and let us see what you see every day. She says, everybody don't get to see this every day. And I never knew that. And I see it constantly ever since a child. This is the tinkle sound they make. This is the most sound you'll mostly hear in the wild. If they make a sound, it's a tinkle. And they can camouflage really good. Now, if you see one like this that has beautiful brown on the chest like this and a blue white face, that's 100% a female. A male cannot look like this at all. The male are usually just solid white on the chest. But females can be solid white, but if you get one like this, that's 100% females. Y'all seen that barn owl? That's how good they have it. He's right there. My eyes would pick them up very easily watching me. They are really good. And they got black eyes and they like to hover. And they listen for the mice in the open fields and they go straight down and capture them. Beautiful feathers. This is also in Frankfurt. This is a mated pair. Been watching them for maybe about 15 years now, and I've been watching the same pair. Still stay around. Owls, the bigger owls can live up to 30 to 40 plus years. You know, my buddy Michael here, we met maybe 10 years ago out at Cave Hill Cemetery, became very close friend, and people have always told me about the Dixie Highway corridor, and no one ever sees owls over there. And I try to find many of people that like knew the area, but God sends somebody your way. And this man grew up all up and down Dixie Highway, know it very well, and told me a story. We went out to eat and told me a story about him and his grandfather. When they was kids, used to take them over by Kindred Elementary School to see owls. And I said, man, I've been trying to find owls in this area for a long time. Now I got over a dozen of owls because of him, just remembering stories and things he saw as a kid. Unbelievable what's up and down Dixie Highway now. And now I tell the stories because somebody needs to tell their story. People need to know where they are and what's living there so that we can fight for them. Because it will come a time where something's going to come to want to take the land. They don't want vacant open spaces that have been sitting around for 15, 20 plus years all around the city. They want to cut down woods and make new areas. These owls are very special. We have to protect them. This is Soren. He's one of our educational birds at Raptor Rehab. And they hiss. So the babies, they make this hiss sound. They look kind of ugly. These babies look really ugly. Oh, this is one of our little owls. They only come in the winter. They show up October the 30th, and they'll be here all this winter until about January, February. This is the northern saw-whet owl. They don't hoot, but they toot. A normal toot. Then they speed it up. This is toot number 2. Don't know if you ever heard that before. And they have one scream. When they migrate and they don't make much noise, they're coming down from Canada and stuff. In the Arctic, they like it where it's cold, but they all fly down this way. We catch them out on Westport Road at Sherry Hills Farm and put bands on them. We want to make sure they are producing. You can open their wings and take a black light, and if the wings are all pink, that means they just were born that year. Science is wonderful. Science is wonderful. Measure them in little Pringle cans, you put them upside down, and measure them in ounces. They are so small. They are half the size of an iPhone. Half the size. It's the most smallest owl that we get in North America. Is the northern, and they make some beautiful, gorgeous faces and expressions. They mostly hunt off of sight, so they look for little mice. They like catching frogs, little small things, because everybody eats them during the day and at night. So they like the screech owls. They want to be able to run in, grab something, and get out of there before they get eaten. Check them out. These little things. Oh yes, absolutely yes. This thing is it's exactly that this half apple is the half of it. You just puff them in your little hand, little beautiful fluff balls. I mean, the most gorgeous little bitty owl you will ever see. They are just so beautiful. Of course, the snowy owl. Everybody loves the snowy owl. People don't really hear them. They're not much vocalists, but they got these grunts and stuff that they make. Let you hear them. Like a dog. They usually come every 5 years. But they are right now coming down south. But they're not coming down because of 5 years. Apparently, there's a scientist up in the Arctic in an isolated area that hasn't been reporting stuff, and they have had lots and lots of offspring. So now they all coming south. Right now, there's two of them down in Chicago. Everybody's going down to Chicago at the pier to go see the two that are down there. We did receive one close to Cincinnati. It got hit by a car. It's still living that I know of. I don't know all the. We took everybody. We told them to take it to Raptor Inc. because they was going to bring it to us, but Raptor Inc. was closer because it was just right over the bridge to Cincinnati. So, but I told everybody right now, keep your eyes open because you may see them. This is down at the Bingham Stadium in Cincinnati. Beautiful, beautiful snowy. They got these big old yellow eyes. The females are usually white with those speckles, brown or white, brown or black speckles on their chest. The males will be completely solid white, all white. If you see one that's all white with no speckles, that's 100% male. Only the juveniles, about 4 feet. It's a pretty big thing. Their feathers are extremely thick because they live in the Arctic where there ain't no trees. They only got snow and ice, and they nest on the ground in the snow, in the ice. They can't live in temperatures 70 or higher. That'll kill them. They'll overheat. They are so thick they look like fur. I mean, their feathers are extremely thick because they in -15, -20 degree weather that these owls are in. Their food stays it don't rot because it's frozen. I love it. This one was down there eating on rats down in Cincinnati. Now, before we get to the last owl, this is the great horned owl. Everybody knows the great horned owl. It's the normal hoot owl. Hoo, hoo, hoo. They're all over. They are the masters of the sky. They are known as the tigers among all raptors. An eagle is bigger than it, but it can kill an eagle. It can kill a fox. Nobody is messing with this apex predator. It does not play. It loves to fight. It knows how to fight, and it loves to fight. It loves to do it. It's good at it. And if you want to fight, they're going to give you one. The only time I've ever been attacked by one is at Raptor Rehab. We get some very mean ones, and we have to wear hammocks on our head and face shields, and you don't turn away from it. When you turn around, it knows that you're not looking, and it will come and attack you. This thing has the same strength in its claws pressure as a lion crushing a bone. This thing is powerful. This is at Harris Creek. This is down at Harris Creek down there. We have them all over. I watched so many different pairs all over the city. McNeely Lake, Cave Hill Cemetery, Joe Creason Park. She holds the record of the earliest of the whole state of Kentucky. This is the first bird that's going to lay its eggs in the winter. She lays her eggs in January. My girl at Joe Creason Park, her record was January the 12th. Before last year, last year was January the 12th, but this year she had on January the 6th. Some people say the eagles go first, and I always told everybody, if you can find me an eagle that's on her nest before any of my great horns, I'll give you the trophy. But that has not happened yet. Very mean. They got ear tufts. That's not their ears. Their tuft does play a role. It helps them with camouflage. When they are down and they're hiding in the trees, it's just a two-dimension view that you're getting. But when she throws those things up, it turns into a three-dimension form. And it really blends in. Their babies are so cute, cute little fluff balls. They get the brown facial disc. Their favorite food is skunks. They love skunks. They can't smell, so they don't know what it smells like. And we get them in Raptor Rehab smelling very, very bad. They mostly evict people. They don't make nests. If you ever see one make a nest, you need to call Cornell University and you're going to become very famous. Usually they take over red-tailed hawks or Cooper hawks, because they're the first bird that lays their eggs. So that following year, they'll take that nest and lay their babies, and those hawks try to come back, and they fuss like hell because this great horn is in their nest. This is at Turkey Run Park, right at Turkey Run Park. They will use a cavity if it's like a treetop that broke and makes a flat surface. These was right there in there. She's very comfortable with me being close to her and her babies. And check her out here in a minute. I mean, see the baby's trying to get up. She's got 3 on her. You hear it? That's the baby screaming because they're hungry. She just looks at me. It's like I'm part of the family. She can care less what I'm doing. Look at that. How person. And this is the female. She's hooked to her husband who's behind me. Everybody just sitting there and they watch me and they take care of the babies. And I just thank them for letting me invite me into their world. This bird is so smart. This owl is so smart that it would catch a skunk and drop it at the foot of its tree. It knows that everybody's scared of that skunk. So when I walk in the woods or something and I see a dead skunk and it ain't been eaten and just sitting there on the ground on the tree, I know it was an excellent. That's one of the reasons why she'll drop it there to keep all the coyotes and foxes. She knows they're scared of that. These things are extremely smart. God has made these things extremely smart. They blend in. I love their ear tufts. They like to fight. I just want to make sure y'all know that they like to fight. And people say, one took my cat. Well, that does happen because they don't know that your cat is a pet. It's just out knocking around, and it will take you. It will. This is how good they hang. This is at Cave Hill. Y'all see it right there hanging? Looking right at you. They are really good with blending in. This here is at Pope Lick Park. I mean, they are at Pope Lick. They had Turkey Run. They had Grog Run. They had Beckley Creek Park. Across at Hayes Kennedy, I hear a pair all the time, but I don't know exactly where they live. I don't know if they live in here or on the opposite side of the river, but they do come over there. I do hear them hooping a lot over there. This is in the city of St. Matthews. One fell out of a tree. I just got a ladder and put it back up on a limb, and Mom still took care of it. This is out at Turkey Run, that little baby trying to get out. But see how it blends in with the tree? They watch you, they look at you. They can really blend in really, really good. This is out at Cave Hill early in the morning. It's going to sleep. These things are fierce. Now, the one at Joe Creasy, people call me all the time and say, "Lee, something happened to the nest. Nobody's there." I said, "Listen, y'all, I don't need no more calls. She doesn't leave. She's there." I said, "She looks just like the barn. She's looking right at you. Do y'all see her? Y'all can you see her looking right?" And I said, "If I come out there," I said, "just take a picture." I tell photographers all the time, just snap a photo of the spot and send it to me, and I'll circle it for you. That's how good my eyes are. Because I know she's there, but they blend in and people just can't see it. But that's her eye right there. That's her facial disc. This is her forehead. This is her ear tuft. Her other ear is sticking up right there. Get the listening. This is what I'm talking about. You've been watching. This is right at the parking lot of Joe Creasy Park, where all the white cars are parked there. Right at the edge of the parking lot, that trees are watching everybody. And she's right there watching. And it's about eye level, but you can't see her. Check her out there. Do you see her there? She's right here. This is her whole face. That's her eye. Here's her ear tuft. Here's the top of her head. Here's the ear tuft over here. She's looking right at you. See what I'm saying? This is camouflage. This is camouflage at its best. That's what they are. And of course, we have the short-eared owls. The short-eared owls, they do this sound like a cat. I can do that one good. They like open fields too, like the barn owl. They like open fields. Right now, we have they haven't showed up on Bennett Lane up here in Oldham County. On Bennett Lane behind the prison, you'll see a lot of photographers line up the whole street because when the shorters come up, everybody's taking pictures of them. And that sound you hear on the mail makes that deep sound on the mail of the bed. And they beautiful, gorgeous. My special one, this is how they have in the grass. And they got these little bitty short ears. But this right here is Big Mama. Gorgeous. I was on Bennett Lane this year. That was January the 18th, I think it was. And about 20 plus short-eared owls. I thought I was in heaven. Nowhere in Kentucky I've ever had that. I called all kind of people. I said, I can't believe what's going on. It was just all over me. And they was on the poles, and I could get so close to them. And I said, what is this? But there was a special one that her name was Big Mama. And I'm gonna tell you when we get to her. Big Mama's awesome. I love her. But they have showed up already. We've been checking every week when the snow came. They came. Right now, there's 3 out there right now on Bennett. I mean on Petersburg Road in Boston, Kentucky, and it's 3 right now. Also, that's the same spot where the barn animals are at too, right along the road. And you don't have to get out your car. It's just farm land and big open land and just a straight road that goes up and down and hay bales and stuff. And they're sitting there on those different posts along there watching you. I really like this owl because it looks Egyptian to me. It's the way it looks. It's just so beautiful. The colors. And it hugs off the sight. Beautiful. This is probably about they're about 3 feet. They ain't real big. They really all feathers. It looks big, but they're all feathered. They're probably about like that. So the males are this small. You can put your whole hand around them. And these owls, some of them got just a lot of feathers that makes them look really, really big. But they're really skinny if you hold them, and they're very, very light. This one only comes for the winter only. This is one of our normal winter visitors of Kentucky. They come every single year all around Kentucky, and it has to be fields. It's not going to be like in a creek or at a park. It's got to be open fields. That's how they like to hunt, and they just catch moles and mice and field mice out there. This is Big Mama. Me and Big Mama had a conversation. I started talking to her one day. I said, Mama, you like music? She said, yeah. I said, who's your favorite singer? She said, oh, I like Tina Turner. I said, oh, you do? I said, what's your favorite song? She said, oh, I love her. That song she sings, Can You Shake a Tail Feather? I said, oh, you can. I said, you want to dance? I said, can you dance? She said, yeah. So, I played that song for her. I'm going to let you see what she does. Check her out. Hold on. Here she goes. That is my girl. I love her. I just made a post. I just told everybody she has not showed up yet, but she's on her way. So our last owl of the day, this is our eastern screech owls. I love eastern screech owls. Only probably about 3 to 5% of people will ever see them. Now, normal average people will hear them. All kinds of people hear them, but they can never see them. Now they are the exact same size as this iPhone Plus. Same exact size. That's how small they are. You can put it right up to the phone. Same size. They come in 3 different colors. They come in gray, which is the most dominant color. Then they come in red, and then they come in brown. Now they are not racist. They can make with any color. You hear me? They love any color. And no matter what colors they all make all the same color. You can have 2 grays and you'll still get all 3 colors in their group. So it doesn't matter. Now this owl, it has a trill and it has a whinny. The whinny sounds like a horse. And this is the trill. You may have heard that around. They like dead trees. Cavities that are size of 3-inch in diameter, really small. Spooky. Make the herd come up on the back of your head. But listen to the wind. Sound like a horse. You have roots all over the forest. If y'all hear that when y'all walking, these about dust, they start talking. Then they add a trill to it. They'll communicate, females that do two whinnies in a trio, then followed by a whinny. So you got to know the communication. I even know how to communicate. I can tell you what it's going to do before it does it. The brown morphs are extremely rare. That is a rare color morph that we don't get in Kentucky. The only people that really get brown morphs is Florida. That's the only place you can really find that color brown. But until the Payne came, I had to correct Kentucky Fish and Wildlife. They had it on Kentucky only have gray and reds. Yeah, we did. Until I would go in the woods and I'm finding all these brown ones everywhere. People cannot see this color in Kentucky at all. But I can. And I got one in Dorothy May that is really, 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 really nice. That's my girl. But we're gonna start with gray. This is how the gray looks. Gray is fruity. And you can tell the color of them from the middle of their heads here. Usually if they're gray, it'll be gray right here with black speckles. If it's brown, it's gonna be like a copper color with these black speckles. And if it's red, it's gonna be this pretty gorgeous red color, which they also call rufous. You may hear the word rufous. That's the same thing as red. They love to live in cavities. They look at you along the trails of every park. Gorgeous. Their babies are cute. I mean, these are big, little bitty fluff balls. They make all these different faces. This one has a little messed up eye fighting with his siblings. This is over at Jefferson Memorial Forest. This is my baby. This is at Long Run Park. I'm in the woods at night, but this is how close they come to me at night. They almost will land on me. I'm right there. I am literally from here to that table watching, just like I'm part of the family. It don't care that I'm there. Y'all heard cows in the background? I said it's time for me to go now. Get scared out there sometimes. Oh my gosh. This is the mother out at Jefferson Memorial Forest. I've been following her for many, many years. I actually saved her tree this year. Was it last year? They was building a parking lot and fixing up around the lake, and so I had to get to some of the naturalists. And I said, she nests in this tree, and I fought like hell, but I was able to save it. And she had about 6 babies in that tree that we saved. It took everything in me to stay there, and I had to call Jeannie, one of the naturalists. I said, we got to stay. And I told him I want to do another program here. Y'all destroy this one. We have to fight for these things. We got to be their voice for all animals. They can't speak. We have to be their voice. The red ones are gorgeous. This is out at Charlie Vettner Park. They have great horns. They have barred owls. They have screech owls there. This is out at Rust Haven Cemetery. These are the red ones. All the cemeteries have them. This is at Pope Lick. This is my little red buddy down at Pope Lick Park. This right here is Mr. Magoo. He's out at Pine Creek Barren. You know, I don't name, they tell me that's their name. They investigate me. This one follows me all around. If I show up, it will follow me. This is how they mimic in camouflage. This is out at Jefferson Memorial Forest. This is over by the lake. Same with that lake. You think the name of the lake?
Waverly Park.
At Jefferson Memorial Forest. Tom Wallace Lake. You go all the way down to the very end. Right now, when you see dead leaves, I look at them. I didn't know this was man. I was looking at the dead leaves. 100 dead leaves on this tree. And to my eyes, one leaf, different color from all the others. And I just said, God, this is beautiful. Like that. So I walk around I want to pull that leaf off. It was different from all the rest. And it turned around and looked at me like that. I said, oh my God. It shocked me. I get amazed sometimes, but now I found them all the time. I look at when I see dead leaves, I look in them and look really good because they will mimic even the movement of the leaves. If the wind's blowing, that screech owl will keep his ear cuffs up and just move with me. That's how good they are. Very camouflage. Gorgeous feature. This is at Creasy Mayhan out at Creasy. This is at Creasy Mayhan too. He's gonna wink at you. Watch this eye right here. Watch this left eye. He's gonna wink at you. That's my buddy. He's a red morph. I love this little guy. They let me record them. They sit there but they are right on the trail. I ain't even left the trail. And if you go over to Charlie Vettner Park, they got a picnic table. Just at the picnic table, and there's one right there under my kitchen, right beside where you eat. I said, but I would see it easily, but people just cannot see them for nothing. This is the brown morph. The brown morph makes up 3% of the whole population. That's how rare this color is. And I'm glad to have at least 4 that I have found. And now you'll pull up on the internet and things, we now have all 3 in Kentucky. We have the gray, the red, and the brown. Just scientists and stuff are not doing studies because this thing ain't here, but they are here. This is at Long Run Park. It's the very first brown morph I ever found. It is a male. He's gorgeous. He's beautiful. He just watches me and lets me get close to him. I mean, look at the color. See how it looks almost like the tree? That's not red, and that's not gray. When you look at it, you're like, something weird with this color. That's a brown morph. This is a brown morph out at Creasy Mayhem. Creasy Mayhem Nature Reserve. This is her favorite tree. She likes to perch right in the middle there. This is Dorothy May. I love Dorothy May. I just went to see her 3 days ago. First one I've ever documented and got to watch her offspring. She had 2 chicks. She had 1 brown one and 1 red one. And husband does most of the work, you know. Usually it's the female, but this color morph is so rare he knows she's rare, and her children knows that she's rare. But usually when I'm watching the baby screech owl, they're usually with mama, but she stays so hidden and upset with daddy. This is the only pair that I ever did that I've seen it. It's only the brown morph. But you're gonna see more of her later. This is the most newest one I found. This is out at Broad Run Park. See how it looks just like the bark? I mean, it blends in with the color. It says brown. Just and they watch, and they will close their eyes to mimic the tree. They can see in the because they know if their eyes are wide open. They know that we may see them over the yellow of their eye. They smart, and you will walk right past them not knowing. I walked past tree that I knew didn't have no hole, and I walked by it, and there's a big hole there. I was like, there was a screech out there, and his head, his eyes shut, and it looked like the whole tree is shut. This is my girl. I love her though. She always shows up for me at Creasy Mayhem. I do programs. Favorite tree. She sits and watches us. And this is Dorothy May. She's the most beautiful. Now they have lots of babies. They have lots of eggs because they get eaten over. They got to watch out for other owls. All the owls eat them. All the hawks eat them. The foxes, anybody that can get them. So they want to be able to get something and get out. So they don't play around. They eat mice. And the biggest thing they mostly get is baby robin. I've watched them out at Seneca Park. They grab a baby robin out of it. And it's hard for them to even lift that. You know, a baby chick don't even have feathers yet. And they kind of go down, and they don't really have that much of a strength to pick it up. But she lets me take all kind of beautiful photos of her. And she comes out when she's got an itch, and you'll see her little brood patch here. See how it's almost clear, but this is my girl. She fluffs up for me, and I just talk away. I do all these FaceTime lives with her, and YouTube live with her. I'm always out with her with everybody. And she comes by name. Like, I can just go there, and if she's not out, I just say Dorothy May. And then this Don was with me, she went, I said, wait a minute, Dorothy. I sit down, he said, lady, this ain't gonna happen. No owl gonna come to somebody. I said, look, her comes like, hey, she just comes on up and crawls out. He said, what the hell do you get? I said, I don't even explain it anymore. I don't know what it is. But she will come to my voice, just like my father's. Well, other than that, that is the end. And we're gonna go see some owls, but are there any questions? Yes. That is correct. In the rest of the world, the females are in control. They are in charge. They are bigger. They are stronger, more heavier. She's probably the main one that do any fighting. Then when the predator comes, she is bad. You hear me? And she's such a mother. I watch them when they have their eggs. Payne's house, all the leftovers and there, she picks it up and she flies it out and drops it, and she comes back and picks up all the stuff and keep her house nice and clean. I mean, it's just you watch this out, and it's mean though. It's fierce, really. And when I go rescue a great horn, I always pray that it's really weak, that it is injured, because if not, I'm gonna have a fight. Even with gloves on. Owls and things, they got some fight in them, but you in for a good fight. I would like to fight. But the females are always bigger in all of them. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Those are those are feathers. Those are feathers. A lot of their feathers will look like fur. You know, our whiskers. Even on some of their feet is like that. But that's just to keep them warm around their mouth. Keep them warm all in their facial area. And they'll puff up and all that'll lift up. for them to get sun rays in, because that's what warms them up. And I like when it's cold like this, when it's a cold day and the sun comes out really bright, I usually put a post so everybody start looking at your favorite cavity somewhere, the fruit cavity out. But they'll be standing there just sunbathing, they pump up. And even the 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 barn owls, the crease in the middle of their face, they'll open it up to vent. You may have saw some of those pictures where there's something in the middle like that. They're just them opening it up to vent. Yes.
How far can they turn their head?
360 degrees. They can't go all the way around 380. I mean, they can't go all the way around. It looks like they're going all the way around, but it's depending on how their body is positioned. And they almost turn all the way completely behind them, but they're not all the way. But they do that because their eyes don't move. Their eyes are stuck in place. Their eyes do not move. And they have this gland, so whenever they're getting ready to fight, attack something, or if a skunk tries to spray it, this gland comes from the corner and it covers its eyes for battle. So it keeps the real eye protected. But the gray horn is a bad boy. I tell you, I love him. Yes.
Are they all not mostly?
That's a good question. I like that. I have read every book in the world. I have studied animals. I have went to school, and I'm gonna tell you a lot of that stuff. Throw that stuff out the door.
Okay.
You're gonna read. I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna read. I haven't read it. I don't read anymore. You're gonna first thing you're gonna read is that owls are nocturnal and they only hunt during the day when it's offspring. That's a bunch of bull crap. I never see an owl sleep. They're out all day long. When you are really around them every single day, 24 hours a day, constant like I am, I see more than what scientists or someone studying them. They're only doing something for a month or for a year. I've been doing this for 30+ years. I've been with them, and I am here to tell you, I don't see owls. They are hunting all day long. Sometimes at Cape Hill, there's a bird on the ground with a squirrel, and you thinking it's a red-tailed hawk. Pull up on it, and it's a bird around. And it's not even nesting season. If they see something they really want and want to hit it, they go for it. They hunt more and a lot more during the day when they have offspring. Then they hunt all day long, 24/7. They hunt. Definitely they have a big brood. They have a lot of babies. They're really hunting. And I don't see them sleep. I promise you, they are active all day long. And light and stuff don't hurt their eyes. They don't hurt. They can see right through it. Listen, I got them to come right to telephone poles, bright LED lights. They right there. I'm just telling you the truth. I want to tell you the real truth, but some of that stuff that is written is all outdated. That's part of how things used to be years ago in the 1800s and stuff, but they have changed. And definitely the barred owl. The barred has now got adapted to humans. They are okay with us and our dogs. They're okay with loud music, walking with the dog, hiking, playing the music, having a good time around them. They fine with it. They have really adapted to human life. They are okay with people. I mean, every fork is sitting there, they're not scared of it. Argue about it. Anybody else?
So I know you've mentioned a few times about what we can do to speak on behalf of the owls, and I know that in our own community here in Prospect, we had a tornado that took out a lot of trees, and we've had development in and around the area. What can we do as a community?
What we have to do is we have to speak up. Anytime a new facility is coming in and wanting to take land, I can't tell you how many public hearings I've been to. I talked to multiple mayors, I worked for mayors, I talked to government officials, because we have got to protect their land, and we have to speak up. This is why I like people to know what's there in the area to fight for. The Publix was going to, they tried to take Tucker Station area, where Black Acres is. They wanted to cut all the woods down there over that way. All that community came out, knowing. And so I like to show up. I don't like to just write something. I like to show up so that people know that I'm here. So I get emotional when I talk about this type of stuff because I feel these animals when they are losing their home due to human hand. We force them out of their home or where they live at. And nobody wants to speak. But see, they don't want you to know what's there because I can cut all this down and you don't know what we just destroyed. You know, I've been fighting for years with Birmingham Forwards against LG&E. And you know, I know everybody from LG. That's where I started at LG. And they want to go through the floor to build that gas pipeline. And they don't understand. You don't have to even start building for these animals to leave. When those big hopper trucks come, that shakes the foundation. That begins to make them leave just by hearing that and smelling the exhaust. They will leave. And then when people complain and say these animals need to be where they're supposed to be, but even when they are where they're supposed to be, you still want to come for it. This is what's killing me. I get all these messages of owls and foxes in different people's neighborhoods that's living right next door in a vacant house. I said, they just want somewhere to live. They just want somewhere to raise their young, and we're destroying all these woods. And, you know, we won that too, out at Tucker Station, against their proposal to build that public there and take all their land out there. And I talked to these, I'm all right with building new stuff, but we got so much vacancy all over the city. But if they will rather you not know what something's not. And I like people, and you know, Brent Bird, he said, he talks to me personally. I know him personally. I work with the service and everybody, and he said he wanted to hear the people. And I said, Joe Creason and all that community around there, they know what's in their backyard. They want to fight for it. Being out in nature is healthy for us, our children. We have to have that part in our life. I never was insane. I never played in PlayStation and all the games. I was always out in the woods, constantly. A little black boy, in the woods, and I admired it. Listen, I connected with animals so truthfully. Some psychologists said I'm an empath because I can feel emotions very easily and feel if someone said but actually never even telling me. It's like you jump into me and I can feel it. And a person that's like that is extremely connected to animals. And all my life, these animals have been around me. I didn't know what to do. I mean, they just follow me. Right now, you can go on YouTube, just put up Howard Greer and Lee calls the foxes. 15 people lined up, calling Snow to come out and bring her baby. She won't even come. People, photographers, all lined up. And then I come on camera, tell everybody right there what's going on. I had him make this because I said, if I go place and talk about this, people won't believe me. They think something's wrong with them. And I come and I tell everybody on TV what I'm going to do. And I say it. And she comes out. And I say, Snow, go get your babies for me. And she goes gets her babies and brings them. Wow. All on camera so people know that. And they try themselves. So a lot of people say, no, we need to record your voice to play it so that you can come out and bring the babies. But yes, we have got to speak up and talk to your government officials. Talk to them. Like right now, what's happening that's just breaking my heart, that y'all may have heard, but they Fish and Wildlife, Kentucky, National Fish and Wildlife, they want to kill the barred owl. They want to kill 400,000 of them on site. Yes, to save the spotted owl. They can earn a mate with each other, but they say they're pushing out the spotted owl. But the problem is due to humans. We cut all the woods in the other state. And so those barred owls left because we took all the woods away and did there. It passed the House, but it hasn't passed the Senate yet that I know of. But that anytime killing another species to try to save another one is a bad situation. That is terrible. I truly don't believe that's going to work because of what we're doing and all the land we're losing. I don't know how many more Krogers we need. They keep wanting to build new Krogers. No Kroger is overpopulated. I don't see Krogers that all the parking lots full all the time. You can't get into line, but they want to keep building more and more Krogers, but less people working in them. They want now they're building all these walls and these rocket gas stations are going up everywhere. You got car washes up and you got Hurstbourne got about 6-10 car washes down the whole street. I don't know how many car washes we need. They are turned into like liquor stores. They are everywhere. And that's what is going on. I like to voice my opinion too when new things are coming in. Vacant spaces have been sitting for years. I've been fighting for years that spot on Baxter Avenue in front of Cahill Cemetery, Baxter and Bardstown Road and Cherokee. That gas station has been sitting over there for over 15 plus years. 20 plus years, just sitting there. And finally, someone finally took it over, which is one of those rockets, which I went out everywhere. Finally took that spot, but that was vacant. It's just all this vacant land, and all down, all through downtown. All these vacant spots, y'all. It's open your eyes. It's been sitting for years. What are we doing? In good spots in there. I mean, that bowling alley on Old Shepherdsville Road in Fern Valley has been empty for many years. Nothing to build. That I told the mayor, that's the perfect place to put your pickleball court. I mean, you got all the roads, different ways to go in now. I mean, come on, this is what I talk about. Let me put it. She asked a very important question. But speak up, talk. Anytime you see something new coming in, and you know there's something little there, talk up against that. I'm telling you. Bobby.
So we're gonna head to Putney Pond. We're gonna park right off of, the, Putney Pond Lane in the circle there. If anyone needs a ride, I'll give you a ride. Is there anyone?
Anybody come around me too, if anybody, I got two spots and anybody.
And also, enjoy today, would like to see you, except for, you got a little box up here.
Where did I put my bag? Oh.